reach out to me and you to write our story.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope I found a new spot, a new home for where I feel comfortable, all the things. I thought I would give you a little fun video if you plan on starting a business, if you're in the starts of a new business, if it's just crossing your mind and you just want to know what maybe I would do as someone who's been in the new business time for almost a year now come April. There's 5 things I would maybe change if I could do it all over again. My notes. So I'm going to go through 5 things. First one, inventory. Second one, vendor shows. Third one, financials. Fourth one, prices. And fifth one, stick to what's working. Okay, so I'm just going to elaborate on those and hopefully you find some value in this and maybe take it into practice as you get started. So when I started, I definitely am someone who I love to take risks. It's scary, but it's just exciting and exhilarating for me. But I maybe jumped the gun with inventory blanks. I make mental health apparel. This I did not make specifically, but I make similar things. So I bought blanks of t-shirts, crew necks. Those are kind of what I started out with right away. I didn't have a brand I really liked. I have now discovered brands that I really like, but then I had blanks of brands that were just really cost effective and they're not necessarily my favorite. There's a couple ways you can go about that. Either you can do cost effective, that way you have really good margin, but I also know that I want to take care of my customers and I want them to feel like they're getting quality every single time that they're coming to shop with Magpie. So of course I'm maybe going to splurge on the quality a little bit, but that will also go into my prices later on in number 4. I am still trying to work through the inventory that I started out with back in last April. It's just not inventory that I love. I don't feel creative when I'm using it. I don't love when I make my products with it. So it's definitely going to be a piece that I'm going to bring to my vendor shows now and use as something that people can choose from and create their own pieces. So my next vendor shows that are coming up in February and April, I am hoping to bring my heat press and I'm going to have them be able to, because that's another thing, I have so many blanks of, I have so many prints, like screen print transfers. I just went to town and just got as many as I wanted. No plan with them. They're cute, but oh my goodness. Let me turn this off. Okay, I had no plan with the screen prints. I just thought they were cute, and now I'm just stuck with a whole binder full or like art book full of screen prints that are just there. And of course, that's just wasteful. So what I'm going to do now, the upcoming vendor shows that I have, I'm going to bring my heat press, bring the blanks I have, bring those, and people can have fun building their own tee or crew neck or long sleeve, any of those things. And honestly, that might be a great thing. That might be a lot of fun and a great twist on the events. And so maybe it'll become a blessing in disguise. But right now, I just know I'm stuck with all those extra screen prints and blanks. So that's something I would really start small with, is the blanks and the screen prints, until you really get a feel of what your customers are really going to like. Like sizing, I know is different. So I really sell out of mediums and extra larges first, and then it kind of goes larges, small, 2X, and then up. So you just have that's trial and error. You have to go with what you have your experience with, but start small is what I would recommend, so you're not stuck with all of this money just sitting there. You know what I mean? Okay, number 2 is vendor shows. I was so scared to start vendor shows. I absolutely love them now. I am antsy to get going. I'm so sad that January is actually kind of like a lull month after the holidays, and it's just kind of a refresher month for vendor shows, which I completely understand, but I was just getting rolling. I have a trailer. I also have tents that I'm going to start using that I haven't gotten to use yet, but I love vendor shows. That's where half of my so far cash flow was from vendor shows, and I loved it. I get to meet you guys. It's been unreal. So I would highly encourage getting into those. Yes, there are some bummer ones that you just learn as you go. It's not fun all the time, but when you hit the jackpot on a show, it is the best feeling. It is so fun. It really solidifies what you're doing, and I would just highly recommend getting into those as soon as possible. Number 3, this is kind of like a taboo, iffy topic, is the financials. It's hard to know how to get started. Everyone's in a different situation. I'll never say not to go for it. We weren't exactly in the place. I have been bouncing around for a while now. I used to do dental assisting, and then I stopped to do a Beachbody MLM, and then that just wasn't it. And then I tried doing YouTube, which I loved, but I just kind of got burnt out with the whole anti-MLM, which I am still proud that I did. But I really wanted to start something like this, but also keep the YouTube going and stuff like that. So I just really wanted all this stuff rolling and fighting mental health and stuff. Financials necessarily wasn't there for me, but I wasn't gonna let that stop me either. But I did end up with credit cards, and do you take a loan out for that? Do you use credit cards? Do you X, Y, and Z? There's a lot of options, so just make sure you're okay and solid in your plan. I think that's all I can really go. I honestly don't even know if I would change the route that I started with the situation I was in. It's just something to really think about, so that's why I included it. Number 4 is up those prices. I have been told and told and told again, yes, I have reasonable prices, which makes me feel better, but by business owners, which also tells me I need to up them. If I'm being told by the consumer that I have reasonable prices, that tells me I need to up them, but it also tells me way more that the people who are telling me, other business and boutique owners who are telling me to up my prices, they're right. I have been trying to climb out of my credit card debt, and they're like, so I'm in like a boutique Facebook group, and I was kind of expressing how I'm really scared a little bit with the credit card situation that I'm in, and they all made me feel so much better. I mean, we all just kind of do what we have to do to get going, and one of the gals in there, she was like, you need to up your prices. No questions asked. Like, you need to be upping those prices. You will not get out of that if you keep where you're at. And that made me feel a lot better. It made me nervous because, of course, I want sales to keep coming, but people who are shopping with me typically are here for me, and if they want what they see, they'll buy it. And it's not to price gouge or whatever, but if you're gonna have a business, you just have to be smart about it and be proud of the quality and the time, and you have to know your worth to keep it going. It's just how it is. You have to take care of you and your family as well, and it's something that I need to be better about. So I wish I maybe started out better with my pricing, and I'm working on that still. Last one. Number 5, stick with what's working. So I also love to take risks, but I love to take risks, but I also love to be impulsive. So, for example, I have the clamshell 15 by 15 heat press for my screen prints and crafts and stuff like that. And I would burn myself occasionally, it's hard on your shoulder and whatever. So I was like, well, there's this cool HTV Ront brand that's an auto press. You can't adjust the pressure though. And I learned that once I got it. I did the pre-sale, all the things. Did I need that? Did I need to spend that $300 extra and whatever? No, I could have that pocketed right now. And that's just high end. I mean, they did give me a $30 compensation after being in contact for them, which feels like 2 months now. That's a whole other story. But it was just not the quality of my clamshell. I wish you just need to be able to adjust the pressure. Anyway, so what I'm saying is it's not always better. You don't always need to splurge and get the next best thing. What you have could be working totally fine and be the best thing for your business at this time. So if you don't have to change something, I would highly recommend just really thinking about it. A couple more sleeps. Do you really need it? Can you maybe do something else? Can you make it work some other way? I don't know. I'm not the best one to say about that because I have a shop now. I have a back room. Did I need this back room? Could I just be a little bit more ballsy and do all these videos and stuff in the shop? Maybe. but would I do it? And maybe would I be missing out on the whole new thing of YouTube? It's possible. So that's how I see things. It's like, what am I missing out on? But things like that, like heat presses. Okay, I had to sit down. My feet were going numb. Yeah, so like heat presses, you know, desks, chairs, just like things that, yes, look fancy, you know, trying to keep up with the Joneses. Do we need those right now? If you have a laptop that's working, do you need those? I don't know. I can't speak for you. I know I kind of splurge and get all the things, but I'm done now. So just to think about that. So those are my 5 things. So inventory, let's do a quick rundown. Inventory, start small. For example, I usually get, so like, let's say I'm getting comfort color t-shirts. I usually get 1 small, 3 mediums, 2 to 3 mediums. Same with larges, same with extra larges, maybe 1 to 2 2XLs, sometimes a 3XL, and even in my crew necks, I've gone up to 5XL, but I have yet to sell that. I think the largest size personally with my business is 3XL that I've sold, maybe 1 4X. Maybe I did sell that 4X, but still, it's just, you learn, and it's hard because you want to be size inclusive, and so I still offer a lot of that, but it is harder when you know kind of your audience. So just keep that in mind. You don't, like, I think I ordered 10, like literally 10 plus of several different things. Like that was just way above and beyond. Like you don't need that much. And so that's one thing. Vendor shows, get into those as soon as possible. I know they're scary, but if you can, and cheaper. Honestly, a couple things that I found is that like my local ones, local supports local. That's what I love. I love my town that I'm in right now. Like they have been amazing to meganspieces, and it's way cheaper. Like I had a double booth at a show in December, I think, and it was $30, so it's $15 per spot, and I had such a great day, honestly. And I'll get into numbers maybe in a different video if you want, so comment below. But like, there's a big city, Fargo, North Dakota, that I'm near, and it's like, for one spot, it cost me like $250 for one event, and I was actually on the wait list, so like, I maybe should have negotiated that. Take advantage of those small town shows, but I've also been to small town shows where I can't, yes, the cost was like maybe $20 or something, or even free, and I only walked away with $110. Still, that's money, but was it also worth your time? So you're going to learn as you go. Highly, highly recommend it though. And then 3, financials, just really be sure in what you're doing. Make sure you've looked at all your options, maybe talked about it with your family and just kind of get their advice. 4, up those prices. Know where you're pricing your goods and make sure you're counting your time, all the costs. That's one thing that took me a little while, that I wasn't counting for all my costs. So sometimes it's up those prices, just up those prices. 5, just stick with what's working and then go from there. Do you really, really need it right now? If you have something that's already working, like I understand, like if you're in the business of what I'm doing, screen printing, you can't use a Cricut Easy Press. You can't use an iron. You need an actual heat press. That is where you're getting the quality for your customers. So yes, then I would be like, you need one of those. But do I need 2 of them? Did I need to upgrade to that auto press that just made everything so much more difficult? No. So lesson learned. But yes, it was pretty, and that's what I fell for. I fell for the convenience of it, just auto doing it. So just be aware of those things, and I hope you guys enjoyed and this helped, and we will see you in the next one. Please, in the comments, leave recommendations of what you think and what maybe you would do if you were in a business, what you would start over with and do differently, or leave suggestions down below, and I'll make another video on whatever you guys suggest. Otherwise, I'll just keep making things up as I go. All right, bye guys.
with me.